everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Autumn, and if you are new here, my channel focuses on anything from beauty, fragrance, fitness, and more, all from the perspective of the average person slash average consumer, and that's me. So while I have worked in many of these fields before, I don't consider myself to be the most knowledgeable. So I am still considering myself to be the average consumer when it comes to buying and trying out products. So if that sounds good to you, please go ahead and subscribe, and we're gonna go ahead and get started with today's video, which is a perfume haul. So my last perfume haul was a little bit over 2 months ago, and that was like at the end of summer, beginning of fall that I did one. So this one's kind of like my going into winter perfume haul. And you can definitely tell that by most of these that I definitely had colder weather in the back of my mind when purchasing them. I did pick up on a ton of sales as well, but anyway, let's just go ahead and get into it, and I'll just talk about each perfume as I show them to you. So the first thing I want to mention is this by Estée Lauder, and it's called the Small Wonders set, and they came out with a new perfume line, and the bottles and just it being a huge collection, and again, they always get me with a story. The story behind the fragrances and the descriptions really had me. But I knew that I needed to be a little bit smarter this time and not just blindly buy the fragrances. So what I ended up doing is I waited until they came out with this set, if I can get it open here. Here we go. They're gonna like fall all over the place. So I picked this setup from the Estée Lauder website, and it has all of the fragrances from that new collection in it. I'm gonna be trying these out and doing an overall review on these, so go ahead and look out for that. But the names are gorgeous, as well as these like simplistic bottles are also beautiful as well. But the names are Infinite Sky, Paradise Moon, Blushing Sands, Desert Eden, Radiant Mirage, Dream Dusk, Sensuous Stars, and Tender Light. What I also appreciate about these is even though they're little mini trial bottles, they actually have an atomizer in them. So I really appreciate that. I think this kit was around $75. So then, speaking of discovery sets, I picked this up from Commodity, which, as you know, if you've watched my channel before, I've talked about this brand multiple times. I think I've mentioned them in like 6 or 7 videos at this point, and I do have an overall Commodity, I guess, brand overview coming up, because I think I own, I don't know, like 11, 12 of their full-size scents, and I've actually gotten rid of 2. There used to be more, but anyway, they had this kit, which they have a new thing going that they call their scent space, and what it is, they have their original fragrances here in the middle, and that's the way they were originally. And then they have the lighter versions if those were too heavy for you, or they had too much sillage, or if you were looking for something a little bit more robust. They have these, I think they're called like expressive versions. Let me see, it comes with this book here. Yeah, so the personal are the lighter ones, then you have expressive, which are the original, and then you have bold. The original scents are obviously as is, but then for the personal ones, they've taken the original scent and then added in some lighter notes to kind of dilute it a little bit. In my mind, I'm almost thinking like an Arnold Palmer situation where you mix lemonade and tea together to get like this refreshing combo that's personal for yourself. And then the bold version, again, takes the original and then adds in some more robust versions. So to me, that's almost like a cocktail situation. Like you add in, you know, like some whiskey in, you know, into your drink, and then it like gives you like that warmth, and it's very, you know, robust. That's how it is in my head. They didn't describe it that way, but that's kind of how my mind works. Anyway, so from that kit, there were 2 that stood out to me a lot. There were actually more than 2 that stood out to me a lot, but the 2 that were my absolute favorite and I thought would be perfect for this current season were Gold Plus, which Gold was originally like their kind of vanilla scent. It had vanilla and amber in it. This Plus version, oh my gosh, it is so good. It kind of adds wood and things like that into it. So it's just a very robust sort of vanilla scent, very warm. And then Milk Plus, Milk is one of their newer scents. And this to me smells like marshmallows in the best way. So it's very similar if you're familiar with Maison Martin Margiela's By the Fireplace, or is it, yeah, By the Fireplace, By the Fireside? I forget what it's called. I have it, but it's not right here. Anyway, it's very similar to that one to me, only this is less smoky. So that one has like a campfire smoke sort of scent to it. If that is something that you don't like, but you still wanted like a good marshmallow scent, this would be definitely one you could pick up. I also appreciate that the Maison Martin Margiela's don't really last that long. They're kind of like lighter. They come in this big thing for you to spray. This is robust and it will last you all day. Oh my gosh, it is so good. It's like one of, I would say it's in my top 10 favorite fragrances right now. And I don't know if you can tell, but I've already used, I don't think you can kind of see. I can see here because the lights are in front of me. I've already used down to this point, which may not seem like a lot, but I have a lot of perfume and I wear that probably every other day since I've gotten it. So speaking of marshmallowy scents, I have had my eye on the Love by Kilian, the Don't Be Shy, for a pretty long time now. And so when the Sephora sale came around, they had this kit, which I just put everything in it and then closed it up and now I can't get it out. I don't know why I do that. Like, do you guys really care to see the packaging? But anyway, they had this kit and it came with a full-size perfume and then it came with this travel sprayer. Honestly, this travel sprayer is absolutely gorgeous. It's like weighty, it feels beautiful. This is something that I think I'm going to continue to keep in my purse even with other fragrances if I can. I just wonder, like, you guys know like who makes fragrances this size that would just like slip in here? I don't know, but I absolutely love it. I'll obviously continue to put the Kilian fragrance in there, but when I run out of that, I'm definitely going to keep this packaging because it's beautiful. But anyway, this fragrance is marshmallowy and like floral, maybe a little bit of fruit at the same time. To me, it reminds me of like gummy bears almost. Like, it really is a beautiful fragrance. This is something though that I think I would wear more in the spring. It can be a winter scent, but then after having Milk, which is like a more robust, heavier scent, this is definitely one that I think I'm gonna be saving for spring. So I'll go ahead and continue with the other two fragrances that I got in the Sephora sale. This first one is Floral Street and it's Wonderland Poppy. This also came in a set with a travel sprayer. I'm giving the travel sprayer to a girl that I work with though, because she really enjoys fruity scents. And this is a beautiful, like bright, fruity floral. Another one that's perfect for spring. This would be also a great fragrance to give to a teen girl. It's not so juvenile to where it smells like a body spray. It really is just a really beautiful, well-rounded, fruity floral. It's the best way to describe it. I think this is one of those scents that anybody who smells it would like. And then the next scent was actually a bit of a fiasco. So I ordered it the very first day of the Sephora sale and it took them 2 weeks to ship it to me. And by the time they were getting ready to ship it to me, I got a notification, them telling me that they are not going to ship it to me because it sold out. But I ordered it the very first day. So other people were getting their orders well before me that ordered around the same time. So somehow my order just kind of was like on the bottom of the stack. And then I don't know how their warehouse works. But anyway, my order was kind of ignored for weeks. And then all of a sudden they didn't have the product. So I contacted them and I was like, hey, I still want the product. And they were like, well, you can go ahead and order it, but the sale's over now. And I was like, excuse me? And they said, well, when it comes back in stock, we'll give you 20% off. But it was like the set that they had. The set didn't come back in stock for quite some time until actually I just decided to order the fragrance by itself, not in the set. And then all of a sudden now it's back in stock. But they didn't give me the 20% off because this was not the same product as before, because the other one was in a set and this isn't in a set. So, but I decided that I wanted it because I'm really looking for some really good vanilla fragrances, which you'll find a lot of them here in this haul. So I got it. I've never smelled it before. It was kind of a blind buy. And do you know like when somebody is describing something as like not being interesting and they're like, oh, it's a little bit vanilla? That's how I feel about this fragrance. I have no idea what the hype about this fragrance was, but it's vanilla. All right, so I don't know if you guys know this or not, but for every 2,000 points you get at Ulta, you get $125 off. And they have point multipliers all the time. And so if I can shop through Ulta instead of Sephora, I 100% do it because I can get way more of a reward for my purchases. So I've been saving up a ton of points. And I think it's kind of a little bit crazy to say I've been saving up because it's only been a year since I've done my last like huge Ulta points haul. I think last year I cashed in like $600 worth of Ulta points and just bought a bunch of crap all at once. But anyway, this year I decided to kind of keep a running list of fragrances that I wanted to try at Ulta. And then whenever the opportunity presented itself, I was just gonna start ordering fragrances and pretty much getting them for free through Ulta. So kind of at the beginning of all this, this is actually, I paid for this one and I've mentioned it in multiple videos. This was in my monthly favorites a couple of months ago. But anyway, this is the YSL Libre and this is the intense version. I think I've also mentioned this in like my fall favorites as well. Again, anything that I mention, I'll have it linked up here. But anyway, you can see how much of this, again, I've used. This is a good go-to everyday scent. Oh, I just absolutely love the smell. It's a very feminine, like boss lady lavender. And when I say boss lady, I don't mean like boss, like what do they call it? Like boss babe, like MLMs. I don't mean that. I mean like it really is just a gorgeous, sexy lavender scent. So anyway, I got this, and then when I went to go start cashing in to get my fragrances, I decided that I wanted to try just the regular one. So I got a smaller bottle of the regular one, and I'm glad I went with the smaller bottle on this one because while it's good, it doesn't have as much depth or as much sweetness as the intense. This is more like the friendly office version of the other one. And then I ended up getting a backup bottle of the intense because I had used my points to buy a Lancome fragrance, and it was the one that's supposed to smell like coconut. I'll have it here on the screen. But then I ended up deciding that I didn't like it, and when I went to exchange it, there were no other perfumes I was interested in at my Ulta, so I just got a backup of this one because I knew that I would probably go through the other one probably within a year or two. So then the next 4 fragrances are ones that I bought with points. So this first one is Coco Eau de Parfum from Chanel. So I was looking for a Chanel perfume that I would actually enjoy because a lot of them, I don't like the way they smell. And I read the notes and I thought, oh, this one would be good. And it's not that big of a bottle. I feel like I would use this one. And I had a hard time even buying any Chanel products because over the last couple of years, I did some research and I found out that the whole company itself was built upon like racism and the eugenics movement. And she was friends with Nazis and dressed all the rich Nazi women and all of that stuff, and the whole basis of like class and beauty back then was based off of those Nazi women who were supposed to be superior to everyone else, and it just gave me a really yucky feeling. But then I read a really fun story about how when she started her perfume company, she wasn't really sure it was going to take off, and it happened to be a Jewish man owned her fragrance company. So then turns out when the law came in place during World War II that Jews were not allowed to own property, she tried to cheat the Jewish man out of his share of her fragrance company because at that point the fragrance started taking off and she wanted all of the money. Well, she ended up not winning, and he and his family ever since actually get around 70% of all profits of Chanel fragrance. So I think her company only gets about 30% or so of the fragrance shares. I'll put the article below if I can find it again, but I was really happy about that. And then I felt okay to pick up a Chanel fragrance. So a little history lesson in there for you. The next fragrance that I got with my points is this Terry Mugler's Alien Goddess. And again, it was supposed to be like a vanilla coconut scent, which it really is. But this kind of is a very sophisticated sort of smelling sunscreen. And if you were looking for something similar to Guerlain's Terracotta, if you find that that's difficult to find, this is a really good alternative. It's like a grown-up sunscreen kind of smell. So this is definitely one that I'll probably wear in the evening in the summertime. The next one I picked up is Gucci Bloom. So this one is just a really beautiful light floral, and it's like a dewy floral. So it's really pretty. It's nothing crazy or spectacular, but I had the Dossier dupe version and I really enjoyed it. So I was curious as to what the original would compare to it, and I'm glad that I got it. And then the last one that I got using my points is the Giorgio Armani My Way, and I believe this is the Intense version. And this has a really bubblegummy sort of like tuberose in it. And I didn't think I would like it, but I really do. So if you like really sweet floral fragrances, I think this would definitely be a winner for you. I was surprised in how much I actually enjoyed it. So I've already posted a video about this one reviewing this fragrance, but if you haven't heard about this fragrance or this company, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it now and then leave a link if you want like a full review about it. But this is Beauty Pie's Balad and Foret. I don't know, I know I'm saying it wrong 100%. But this is Beauty Pie's sort of like holiday limited edition Christmas release fragrance. And I've always had a difficult time with their fragrances because I feel like they're just sort of generic and they didn't quite hit the nail on the head. This one, unfortunately, is limited edition. It's the best fragrance that they've ever made. It's a spiced holiday orange and mixed in with like pine, like that's your Christmas tree. And what I talked about in the review and what it reminds me of is if you have like your fireplace going and you have a Christmas tree up and you've got your stockings above it and you put oranges in your stocking, which is traditional thing to put in the stockings. That's what this reminds me of. It's a beautiful Christmas scent without being like potpourri, if that makes sense. So anyway, I'm really gonna enjoy this as long as I have it, and I'm sad that they made it a limited edition run. So I am on some Facebook groups that talk about fragrances and fragrance deals and all that stuff all the time, which those can definitely get you into some trouble. And I'm trying to be good about not buying too much fragrance, and I've switched my focus mostly from fragrance at this point, again, back to makeup, which isn't a good thing either. I have a makeup haul coming up, which is shameful. But what I will say is I got a great deal on the next two fragrances. On Walgreens, they had like a coupon going on and they were also half off. I got both of these fragrances together for $100. So this first one is Dior Miss Dior Eau de Parfum. And this is a fragrance that I'm familiar with. I've had smaller like versions of it before. And to me, it reminds me of really luxe bath products. Especially if you were familiar with, and which it's not even that luxe, but the scent was really rich. If you're familiar with Soap and Glory, all of their products were fragranced just like this, which I'm sure they were modeling themselves after this. Oh, I haven't even sprayed this one. I was like, I can't smell it in the thing. Do I have COVID? It's just a beautiful, sweet, creamy floral. It's one of those scents that I think most people would find very comforting. And then the next one that I got is this from Tom Ford, and it's Black Orchid. Again, I've had multiple little ones of this. I just never splurged and got the big one. And I knew if I didn't get it with this deal, I was never gonna find a better deal. And again, this is a very beautiful unisex, sort of like deep, heady floral. So a while back, I decluttered my perfume collection and I sold a bunch of stuff on Mercari, and I still had some credits left on there. And so in my hunt for vanilla perfumes, this is one that I've had my eye on for a really long time, and I didn't like want to quite like spend that much money on it. And I happened to find it on there. It's called Heretic's Dirty Vanilla. And I really lucked out because the girl selling it, got it, sprayed it, didn't like it. She like sprayed one spray out of it and then just got rid of it. It really is, I guess, what you would call a dirty vanilla. It's a patchouli vanilla scent. And I like it so much. I think it's beautiful. There is a patchouli vanilla scent that my friend Amy got me to buy a while back. I forget the name of it. I'll pop it here on the screen though. But anyway, the one that she suggested, that is more of like a damp patchouli, like a creamier sort of like damp patchouli. And then this one is definitely more of like a drier, dirty, earthy patchouli. The fragrances though themselves are very similar, but just you can tell the different types of patchouli that they were going for in each one. And then the next scent I got on there is Lush Vanillary. And I probably should have done my research, but I'm not sure that it would have mattered since I was using credits that I was trying to spend up on there. But I ended up paying for this, which I've only taken one spray out of it. She used, you know, a fair amount, but it cracks me up because after shipping and stuff, I paid for this what I could have just paid for it new. But it's a vanilla scent. This to me smells like a more natural vanilla than a lot of them. So this is supposed to be a natural sort of vanilla, but this smells more natural than this does to me. So I probably should have mentioned this one back with the Alien Goddess, but I decided to pick up the Terry Mugler's Aura. And here's the thing, is I've been kicking myself for years, well, okay, like 2 years, about not getting this. I saw it at Marshall's probably 2 years ago for $12 in their clearance section, and I didn't get it. And then I've been kicking myself about it ever since. This, let me get like something to spray this on. Here's a random piece of paper that's been sitting on my desk. So this fragrance, like obviously like from the bottle, it's a green fragrance, and which I guess I could have assumed as much. I recently moved around and reorganized my fragrance collection. And I noticed that for the most part, because I put them in scent categories, almost all of my green bottled fragrances had a green smell. And I never put two and two together. I thought they just did it for aesthetic reasons, but it appears that they really do just match the bottle to the smell. But this is a beautiful sort of dewy green fragrance that then has like woods and vanilla mixed into it. It's beautiful. I think this might be one of my, actually out of the Terry Mugler's I have, I think this is my favorite. I like it more than the Alien Goddess. But I mean, obviously that's just a preference thing. So I want to toss this one in here and talk about it really quick. This was sent to me for review by a company called Inspired Fragrances. So here is the bottle. And they asked me, they're like, what fragrance do you want us to send you? And I was like, well, I have a video coming up where I compare all of the dupes that I own to Baccarat Rouge, and I'm gonna, you know, talk about it. So I go and I check out their website to make sure that they have a Baccarat Rouge. And the first thing that popped up was a warning on my computer saying that it's not a trusted site. So that was a little bit sketch, but then the next time I went back, it was fixed. So maybe their certificates just weren't renewed, which that can happen sometimes. So anyway, you know, I tell them, you know, that I'm doing that video and they're welcome to send me that one. You know, or you choose something else, whatever, it doesn't matter. So they do send me this one and only fragrance. And what I can tell you, because I am gonna be doing the video, it does smell similar, but it actually smells more like Dossier's version. Like almost exactly like the Dossier version of Baccarat Rouge, which I've talked about before, how it's it just kind of lacks that je ne sais quoi that the regular Baccarat Rouge has. Like, so it seems like all the ingredients and all the notes are there, but it's kind of lacking the magic, if that makes sense. But I want to point out the bottle and stuff on this, like, it's, and I feel bad because they sent it to me, but the bottle isn't that well made. And I don't know if you guys can tell or if you can see it, but I see stuff floating around in the liquid. I don't know what the best way. Do you guys see the floaties? Yeah, I can kind of see them on my monitor. So I don't know how sterile their factory is. But with that being said, I'm pretty sure the dossier version is cheaper than this. You get more fragrance, and I never noticed a floaty in the dossier version. So I'm just gonna leave that there. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna tell you guys this. When companies send me stuff, which is few and far between, mostly because I'm like super honest. When companies send me stuff, I'm still gonna be 100% honest with you about the quality and all of that stuff. I'm not here to influence you into anything. I don't consider myself an influencer, but I think it's important to inform you so that you can make your decision on whether or not you're gonna buy something, whether or not something's a good deal, whether or not something is high quality. So I'm here to inform you on those things, and then you can make an informed decision yourself. I don't need to influence anybody into doing anything. So I just kind of want to make that clear now, to where if in the future anybody else sends me anything again, or if you're a company watching this and you're planning on sending me something, just know that just because you sent it, it does not mean that you're gonna get a glowing positive review on it. Okay, so let me step off my soapbox and continue into the next item. And this is from Korres, and this is their Eau de Toilette in Black Sugar. So I don't know where, but I heard people talking about this and it being like cheap, but a delicious scent. And I think I did only pay around $30 for this. And it really is a deeper, sugary, like warm sort of scent. It's beautiful. This is something I would wear to bed. Yeah, I'm still smelling that vanilla that was on there. I have no idea where to spray this, but into the air then. Yeah. But this is definitely a fragrance that I wouldn't mind wearing to bed. It's beautiful. I mean, I would wear it out and about during the day, but I have so many fragrances that I absolutely love that deserve to see outside my house. This is probably not something that I would probably wear out. All right, so this next one here is from Fleur. They had a Black Friday sale, which was 50% off of their fragrances. I already own like 4 other ones. I own most of their fragrances. So this one was one that I didn't own that I wanted to try. And it's called Moab. I'm like smelling it and not actually telling you what it is. It's called Moab. And it's interesting because there's only 4 notes kind of listed, which I think it's like spicy notes, sun, sand, and wood, I'm pretty sure. There's a sweetness to it also, which I guess could come from the wood. Like, not that wood's like super sweet, but it's like a creamy sort of sweetness. There's gotta be more in here, but this is a beautiful fragrance, one of my favorites. I'm surprised that I didn't pick this one up before. And then I have some interesting fragrances from some indie brands to talk about. The first one I want to talk about is from Solstice Scents, and they had like this whole fall sort of Halloween theme going, and this one sucked me in. I've never smelled it before. I probably should have waited. I'm pretty sure that my friend Amy even told me to wait to purchase until after I had tried some scents. But I'm like, no, I'm sure I'm gonna love this. It's gonna be great. Which she doesn't know which one I picked. But anyway, I got this one called Gibbon's Mischief Night. So the whole idea behind this brand is they take different establishments in their towns and then they put different scents together and they say it smells like that place. So Gibbon's, I'm pretty sure, it doesn't say here on the box. I could look it up online, but I'm pretty sure it's like a school there. It's tempered with a bit of our Gibbon's boarding school. So it's a boarding school that they have there in town to transport you to the refreshments table within the institution. Just a nip of bourbon and pear brandy and rounded out by a soft vanilla cream soda. No autumnal spice, no chocolate, just pure white sugar frosted desserts. And they got me because of the vanilla, the smoke, the marshmallow, the sugar, the popcorn, the cream soda. This is the most gourmand scent I own. So gourmand to the point to where it smells like I went to a bakery and bought a bunch of goodies and then I'm like sticking my head into the brown paper bag smelling them all. It's so gourmand that I'm not sure that I could wear this on its own, that this might be a mixer for me to mix with like commodities whiskey or even leather. I mean, this is the sweetest scent I own. I bet Amy would love that though. I always think about Amy when I get like super sweet or super powdery scents because she seems to like those. And I did take her advice and I did get a sampler. And so, which she's given me a sampler before, but I want to try them all and then maybe make a purchase later. But some of these really sounded good to me. Like this one in particular is Blossom Jam Tea Cakes, which I mean, again, sounds super sweet, but the fact that it was like mixed with like flowers and stuff. Heat of the Night. I've got Lavender Vanilla, Rose Mallow Cream. I mean, that sounds so good. Seance, Private Eye, Pharaoh, Mountain Vanilla, Main Moon, Master Bedroom, and Victorian Tea Room. So I'm excited to dig into these and try them out. These scents seem very potent and gourmand so far, but they're all interesting. It's like nothing I've smelled before. So I'm really excited to dig into them and maybe pick some favorites to get some more full sizes of. The bottle even, each one has a different, if you see here, has like a different picture depicting what the scent is. And I just like that. Like I'm a sucker for like a good story and all of that good stuff. So I then made a purchase from Alchemia Perfumes, which again is a perfume house that Amy has talked about on her channel before. And again, I'll leave her, I don't know if I can leave her linked up here. I might be able to figure it out, but I'll definitely have her linked in any videos that I reference of hers or that references any of these fragrances. I will link below for you guys to check out because she's really knowledgeable and she does her research before she sits down to film, as opposed to me, as I do no preparation whatsoever. So anyway, from Alchemia, I just went based off of the names. And this one's called Evil Temptress. And I mean, who doesn't want to smell like an evil temptress? So I get this. And I'm like, I don't, okay, I'm trying to find, I have no, here, actually right here, like looking for a place on my arm. Yeah, this is a floral scent. Like it's beautiful, but it's nothing that I would say is like seductive. That's the word. It's nothing that I would like say, oh, like that's a super sexy, seductive scent. But again, I feel like sexiness, that's different for each person, right? So the fragrances that make me smell sexy, a lot of people says smells manly. So I don't know. The next one I got is Carnival of Illustrious Hearts. And again, these are little roller balls in case you're curious. They do have other formats of their scents, but these are just the ones that I chose. And this one's raspberry, rose, cotton candy. What else is in this? Whipped cream, vanilla, amber. And this one's really like sweet and fruity, but it has something in it that comes off a little bit medicinal to me, which isn't always a bad thing, but it definitely does have a medicinal sort of quality to it. Honestly, it's probably the raspberry. I feel like they put so many berry fragrances in cough syrups and things like that yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the raspberry. So then this one I picked up is really interesting. It's their Pheromone P28. And so apparently Alchemia has multiple pheromone perfumes that are supposed to help you attract the opposite sex. I've been so curious about pheromone perfumes. So I got this one, and then I'll show you in a few minutes the next one that I got. So I picked this one up, and I'm on the Etsy site trying to get like a description for it, because honestly, they've sold 81,399 through Etsy, and they've got a 4.9 out of 5 stars. And so let's just go in and actually read some of the reviews. I haven't read these ahead of time. Let's see. Okay, so this person says right here, I haven't tested this yet for indecent thoughts, but it is very light and has almost no scent, which is perfect. Can't believe how well this works. My husband has been noticeably more affectionate since I put this on, which is saying a lot since we're already very affectionate together. Okay, thanks for sharing, lady. My only regret is trying this immediately after getting the package, since we're in the middle of a heat wave and don't have AC, so I'm not really in the mood for sharing my body heat right now. Okay. Calm down. So this person says, sweet gods, it works like really well. I'm not a huge fan of the scent it made with my body chemistry, so I layered it with Alchemia's All the Sins, and just wow, I love it. Okay, so I'm just gonna tell you, so I haven't worn this out, but there's like almost a dirty kind of like smell. It's not, well, not quite dirty. It smells like old vodka in a plastic cup to me. So I have no idea, but it hardly has no scent at all. So again, my husband doesn't come home for like another 6 months, so I guess I'll just hold on to that. I have thought about wearing it like either to the gym or to Army, just to see, because those are normally the places where I see men. I spend 90% of my time at home, just to see if anybody comments on it or says anything. Because literally it has no smell like once it's like rubbed in, so I don't know. But then the other items I got from Alchemia is they had their Halloween collection out around the time that I got it. I mean, that's how long ago I bought this stuff. So this to me smells like caramel apples. I mean, it's super, super gourmand. Like a lot of these oil companies like Solstice Scents and Alchemia, I notice they go really heavy on the gourmand. And then also they gave me a couple samples, the All Hallows Eve and Trick or Treat, which I haven't tried those yet. I mean, I'll probably end up maybe using them next year. And then the last pheromone perfume I want to talk about is this one called Pure Instinct. And so I saw it on TikTok, I don't know, like a year ago. And so I bought it. And to me, this doesn't smell good. It's floral, it's okay, but it doesn't smell that good to me. But then I was also watching Bachelor in Paradise over the summer. And so if you guys don't watch the Bachelor franchise, this is not gonna be interesting to you at all. Or if you do watch it, you will have already seen this. But there was a girl, I totally forget her name, but when she was in her season, it was Matt's season of The Bachelor, she went around telling everybody that one of the other girls there slept with people for money. And the way she said it, like, all the memes came out because she was smiling while she said it like this, and she was like,
is entertaining men for money.
Anyway, so fast forward to Bachelor in Paradise, and she shows up and she's actually using this, which I had just bought, and she's rubbing it all over herself when she comes in, and everybody is commenting on how good she smells. I don't think, like how? So again, this is one that maybe it has to work with your body chemistry, but maybe I need to slather myself in this and see if people think I smell amazing. So anyway, that is everything that I picked up. That's a lot of fragrance, but starting with the new year, I'm gonna not buy fragrance or makeup for quite some time, and I'm going to focus my content on items that I do have and actually do like more informative videos. I feel like videos like this where I just buy stuff and talk about it is not informative really in any way whatsoever. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.